Yeah.
You have to go.
Okay. Ready? Done. Recording, right? Recording process. Is it recording? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, oh, good morning to everyone. Okay. So now we will continue from the last week's class. So last week we discussed about the
Trang ơi, tiếng hơi nhỏ chứ.
we discussed about the first non-virtuous action, which is the act of killing, right? So then, yeah, we will continue, carry on with the second one, which is the act of, act of stealing. So all that, when we talk about the law of karma, we need to understand that all the pleasure, all the joy and happiness, and all the pain, all the pain and suffering, unpleasant events or situations, all arise from the all arise through the power of the karma, whether it is positive karma or whether it's negative karma. So relating to this, first let us hear this kind of story, which relates to the law of karma. So in very, very early times, there was a there was one kingdom, and then in that kingdom there was a king who rules his subject. So the king was so the king was worrying that despite many efforts, the king was expecting to expecting to have a child. So then, after after many years later, uh, the child was born to that the king. So let us say the king number A, a child was born. Then, as per the tradition and the customary tradition of the king, he consulted some of the saints to make the predictions regarding the future of the child. So then the sages and the saints, uh, or what is called as those who makes the predictions. So finally, the king was told that his son was not going to live more than 7 years. And not only that, unfortunately, the child was blind. The king was born with a blind child. So hearing this, the king was so sad. What to do with the child who was going to live for just 7 years. So the king was thinking of abandoning the child. So finally then, king decided to abandon the child. So the child somehow grew up hanging around here and there in the street. So right. And then at the same time, there was another kingdom, say kingdom B, and with the, with also the king, say King B, whose name say King B. So that king, King B, he has 3 daughters. He has 3 daughters. So so the king raised these 3 daughters very well, giving what they providing all the things that they needed, taking care and nurture them well. So as they grew up, these 3 daughters grew up, they also came to be really these 3 daughters came, they're mature, So what really then happened is, so the next day, some kind of picnic, some kind of entertainment, better call, some kind of, picnic or entertainment was going on, So, everybody, tried to attend, everyone of that kingdom B was trying to attend that event, some kind of entertaining event. So then, the king also, spent, because he was a king, so he has everything, the jewelry, costly jewelry, expensive, the ornaments, and the finished dress, So he provided, so he gave all this, for the 3 daughters, the eldest daughters, the medium daughter, and then the youngest daughter. So he provided all this, equally the same, he treated them equally same. Then so they went to attend the party, or party or whatever we call, whether it's entertaining, or a picnic, whatever we call. So they all enjoyed, these 3 daughters, where they went to attend this event, and they all enjoyed to the to their heart's satisfaction. So then, so the next day, the king told them, how was the party went on? How did you, how did you guys feel? Felt, experience. In fact, the king said, who really do you think, the credit goes to? So the eldest daughter, she responded, no doubt, it's your father's, gratitude. It's your father's kindness. Similarly, the second daughter, the the medium daughter, who also responded the same. It is your father's, kindness which make it possible. Without which, we won't have this kind of, such a kind of joy. Then it was the youngest daughter. What responded she gave to the king? She responded that she said, yeah, I enjoyed all these things, but that really is my own creation of karma, right? Maybe, the way she replied, maybe not, how to say, not skillful, but she, but she responded in that way. It is my own creation of positive karma that I enjoyed. At this, the king, the king who is her father, right? So the king was really filled with rage. The king was really upset hearing this. He was not expecting to hear such an unpleasant word from his, even the smallest and the youngest daughter. So the king was really feel upset. He was filled with rage. And then the king decided, well, if that is what you really think, if that is the case, right from tomorrow, I'm not going to owe you. I'm not going to give you here, I will expel you from my kingdom. And then not only expel, I will send with the poorest, beggar of this, kingdom, the most, the beggar who is the most pathetic. So I will send with, together with, that beggar. So you make ready to go tomorrow, right? So what really happened is, now there was, now the daughter, so the youngest daughter was preparing to go the next day with the most poorest, beggar. So they, so they are really in, now such a, pathetic situation. They, they have fallen into the pathetic situation that she has nothing to carry. On the other hand, the beggar is also the blind. What to do? So they travel, so they travel, so both are, now traveling, and then what happened is, but they have, it looked like they have, the beggar, and somehow they have, really a good trust with each other. The beggar and the daughter, the king's daughter, the youngest daughter. So they, they found a lake, so they finally come across the one lake, or pond, one pond. So in that pond, what really happened was, in that pond, the beggar was so tired. The beggar was so tired, so he put his, the head on the on the the daughter, the king's daughter, the lap. So then, both of them very tired, So they somehow, the beggar also, fall, sleep. Beggar fall asleep, and strangely, not only that the beggar was blind, he also have some lot of, he was suffering from leprosy. The beggar was suffering from leprosy, right? So yeah, beggar, fall asleep on the lap of the daughters, the king's daughters, the lap, right? And then somehow, the daughters saw, the snake, the snake coming from the eyes of the, the beggar. After that, after that, the beggar, woke up, and then the daughter told the beggar, "Do you have some, dream? Have you had some dream? Because I saw you that the snake coming from your, eye." And then the beggar said, "Yes, I also have kind of dream, where many kind of, the many kinds of, the black things, the black, kind of smoky coming from my body." Coming from my body, and it all goes away. After having this dream, the beggar gradually begin to recover from the all the leprosy. He was really doing good in the health. And not only this, then uh, actually, ironically, the beggar, this beggar was the son of the another the kingdom, another kingdom A. The kingdom A has the king A, king whose name is A, whose name was A. So that beggar was the the child of the kingdom A, the king A, king A of the kingdom A, right? So in this way, before this beggar also has some some kind of some kind of, we call jewel, one wish granting jewel. He has a wish granting jewel. So wish granting jewel, um, he happened to he happened to drop this wish granting jewel in that pond before, right? Now when the beggar and the the king's daughter, when they happen to reach, and then they fall asleep, right? Yeah. uh, the beggar falls asleep, and then they wake up and all his body already recovered from the leprosy, so then yeah, the the uh, the beggar told, who was actually the child of the kingdom A, right? King A. So uh, the beggar told the the king's daughter. Actually, he was like now almost like some kind of partner. So he said, I I accidentally dropped my wish granting jewel in that pond. So we need to find. And then they keep on searching, and finally they got the they found the wish granting tree, wish granting, yeah, jewel. Sorry. So this wish granting tree, after having found this wish granting tree jewel, both of them were so delighted. So what he did is, he he got the wish granting jewel, and then he touched his eye. He touched his eye. With this also, his his eyesight also get recovered. So this kind of thing happened, and there are some kind of like miracles. Miracle happened because when there is a karma, activated. So both of them now return back to the kingdom A. Return back to the kingdom A, and then when the father, the the kingdom A, the king of the kingdom A, so they they the beggar see his the father, who was actually the king of the kingdom A. So after hearing all this story, the king was so delighted. The king really so delighted after having learned that the son you know gained the eyesight, and all the health issues already gone. So then this kind of the news was spread in the kingdom kingdom A, and everybody really feels very happy. Then this story later on, also spread to the kingdom B. So both of them return back to the kingdom B. Now kingdom B, right? So the child is the actually the daughter was uh, the the daughter uh, with the beggar, right? So actually, the youngest daughter was the daughter of uh, kingdom B. Yeah, the 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 king B. So in this way, first, the king B was surprised when they first saw, they're coming. The king B was not ready to accept. But then after, discuss for a long period of time, the king was really impressed. The king B was really impressed. In this way, both kingdom A and kingdom B accepted. And then from then onwards, the prosperity flourished in the kingdom A as well as kingdom B. Right. So that is the story. Now, there are many things to learn from this story, but I'm not going. Yeah, due to the shortage of time, I won't go. Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now, in this relating to this story, actually, what we learned, is when the karma is right there, it is no force can stop. When you really create a good karma, nobody can stop that from ripening and from maturing that positive karma. Right. Now, for example, uh, somebody has say, you want to help somebody, whether it is financially, you want to help somebody economically, you want to help somebody in terms of mm, mm, the serving, or in health. There are different ways of helping others, right? Somebody is also going through a difficult time, you can help in many ways, right? Now, for example, just take a simple example. Prayer, sometimes we call prayer, right? Prayer, or sometimes we do a ritual, right? Ritual, the right, or we can do the visualization, helping the other person. But in this respect, how your visualization, or how the prayer, how your ritual, how your the dedication help that person, right? For example, if there's somebody, actually you when you make some food, food offering, or when you make some cloth, cloth offering. Of course, we can see, right? We can definitely see. But then, in terms of visualization, when we visualize, when we do some kind of prayer for that person, on the behalf of that person, how our visualization, prayer, or ritual work to benefit that person? That is, again, important to understand. Now, now how the karma plays a role in this case. Actually, now, for example, I pray for the benefit. I pray, may that person live for a long time. May that person have a healthy long life. May that person, never go through any kind of difficulties in the life. May that person enjoy the best of the health. May that person enjoy the abundant resources. This kind of visualization prayer or dedication prayer for yourself, it helps you to create a tremendous amount of merit. It helps for yourself, it helps to create a great deal of merit. But still, on your part, you are able to create a great deal of merit for yourself. But then, still, how my prayer can affect that person, can help the other person. Now here, if the other person, right, if the other person maybe now, maybe some health problem, or maybe going through some, some kind of economic crisis. If that person has some positive karma to enjoy the good health, if that person has some karma, positive karma to receive the abundance of resources, your prayer, your visualization helps to activate that karma, the imprint, the seed of that karma. In this way, you are helping that person. Right? So this is, again, very simple example. So therefore, from the story, we came to learn. We also came to learn and understand that all the resources, for example, the youngest lady, the youngest daughter responded that it is my own karma that I enjoyed all these things. Now, if you look into this, the case, situation, yes, she was able to, get all this, good privilege from the king. Right. Then, from her part, yeah, it was purely her own, positive karma which has ripened, which has matured. But then, as I said, you have the main factor as well as the cooperating factor. Now, who is the cooperating factor? Now, the king himself was the cooperative factor. Now, she has her own good karma to enjoy all the privilege. Right. what she responded was 100% right. At the same time, but the king, act and serve as a cooperative condition. From that angle, she should also be grateful to the king, right? So in this way, right? In this way, for example, like the benefactor and the beggar. Just again, I take an example: the benefactor and the beggar. The benefactor was able. Now the benefactor, you know, the benefactor gave some, say some food or some clothing, or provide some shelter to the beggar. So when the benefactor, provide the shelter, give the food, resources to the beggar, that was the, having the beggar having received the resources, the clothing, food, or shelter is the is the is the mm, is the virtue and the power of the beggar's positive karma. Beggar's positive karma, right? So that is beggar's the positive karma. If the beggar has no positive karma, there is no way to receive all these things. There's simply no way. But then, who acted as a cooperative factor to receive the beggar all these things? Is the main cooperative factor is the benefactor himself. The benefactor act as a cooperative factor. So in this way, the beggar is grateful. The beggar is grateful to the beggar is grateful to the benefactor. The benefactor is grateful to the beggar, because the beggar has given the benefactor the opportunity to create the new positive karma, to receive plenty of resources in the future at any point of time. And the benefactor himself also grateful to the beggar, because the benefactors act as a cooperative factor, because without benefactor giving, the beggar cannot receive anything. So in this way, everything almost look like this, in our day-to-day life, So there's a sense of the law of karma is something really beautiful. On both sides, there's a sense of appreciation, the gratefulness. Right? And also, now, for example, right, the butcher, again, I take another example. I try to give example just to gain certain conviction, more, better understanding of how the karma works. Now the butcher now the butcher killed the, for example, like, the butcher killed the, say, cow. The butcher killed the cow. When the butcher killed the cow, right? When the butcher killed the cow, now of course, the cow goes through the pain. Definitely, there's no question that, when the cow is being slaughtered, the cow should feel pain. When the now the the cow the experience of the cow, the experience of the painful experience of the cow when being slaughtered, that painful experience is the the karma of the cow. The karma has ripened because the cow feel the pain. When the cow experience the pain, there is the negative karma that the cow has accumulated since over some point of time. Now on the butcher side, the butcher create a new negative karma. Yet on the other hand, the cow has ripened his own karma already. So this is how again the karma works. Right. So I will again, go through, now let us, begin with this, the second, non-virtuous action, which is from the body, right? That is the act of taking others' possession, the act of taking others' possession, or taking others' possession which is owned by other person, right? So so when we talk about the act of taking others' possession, again there are four factors which complete the full negative karma. The first one is the object. The object means a kind of a possession, any kind of possession which is owned by other person. Any possession, including the money, or even the needle, even the road, the house, whatever possession which is owned by other person, that is the object. And then there's a mental state. Now when we hear mental state, there are two. One is recognition and another one is motivation. Recognition means if we are going to take other person's object or material possessions, for example, right, I'm going to take this borrower class which belongs to other person, right? I mean, that means I'm taking this without permission from other person. Now I should have that recognition that I should, because I'm going to take this, I should recognize this bottled water as a bottled water. First I want to take it, later on I mistake, I make some mistake and I steal some other object like some kind of like tea, then there is not complete. There is not a complete negative karma, So therefore, the recognition means you recognize this, because I'm going to steal this. So I recognize this water bottle as a water bottle. And then we have the motivation, right? The motivation, again, taking others' possession, motivated by anger, motivated by attachment, motivated by ignorance. So there are different motivations involved when taking others, possessions, object, without the permission of others, right? And then this is the mental state, right? Recognition and motivation. And then and then the third one is the execution of the act. Now when the execution of the act here refers to when the act of stealing is actually doing, in the process of doing, now the method, I can physically involve in stealing, or I instruct somebody to steal on your behalf, or one can use the skillful method, or one can use the tricky method, or one can use the some kind of like black magic, or one can do some kind of other form of stealing, right? Or one can do the corruption, or one can do the bribe. Many different things are involved. So that is the method, what kind of method we employed during the execution of the act, all this is accounted for at the act of stealing. And then we have the final, now the fourth, right? The fourth factor. The fourth factor is, now I'm going to, I'm going to, for example, steal this, Now finally, you mentally think, I obtain it. The moment you think, I just obtain it, that is complete negative karma, complete act of negative stealing, complete act of the stealing of negative, the negative karma of stealing, right? You need, the final is you just have to develop, I obtain it mentally, I now obtain it. That's it. Once you get this, all these four factors, it's a complete negative karma. Right, even now these days, people, put a lot of images, on the online, now they say copyright, and even the books, they people put the copyright. That means, you can't take it. Even, the book, for example, like book, which you are not authorized to do in any way without the permission, right? Sometimes we, memorize the things. So there are many things, right? As I said, even, on the road, you are traveling, even on the road, we keep on going, and all of a sudden we got one diamond. We saw one diamond. We found one diamond, where is there? Nobody, and we found a very, say, piece of diamond which would cost, runs into, few, million. And then somebody come, right? Somebody come. Have you found the diamond? And you don't have to say, oh no, I don't have found. I haven't found. You don't have to say from out. Even if you do, like this, noted, that means I haven't found. It's a full negative karma. Even if you say like this, again this negative karma. If you say like hand gesture like this, again this negative karma. I will tell you a very, but it's a true story. There is a one person whose name is called without part, without any part. So what happened is, somebody, so he saw somebody still, he saw somebody stealing, and then the another person who lost the object, he come and ask him, have you seen somebody stole my thing? That person say, I can't remember anything. Now with this very result, because he say, although he know, but he say, I can't remember. Because of this, for 500 lifetimes, he was really born as somebody, no hand, no feet, no eye, no ear, no nose, only the mouth and the private part. I mean, like the egg shape, only the egg shape, for 500 lifetimes, because of just telling a piece of lie. So, we sometimes don't treat that, oh, this is very small, this is very small, it's okay, this is not okay. Because the karma, right from the beginning, either we purify it. If we are not able to purify it, the strength of the karma, even though it may appear very insignificant, small, very little, but then the power of the karma continue to grow, continue to gain more strength, more strength, more strength. And finally, the result is immense, unimaginable result, unimaginable negative result, just like the one that I told that I told the story. Right? Just say he didn't found. It looked nothing right, but in reality, this is the result. Brought. So therefore, Master Adisha, Master Adisha, one time traveling with Domdamba, his the chief disciple, and Master Adisha told him, at all times you need to guard the law of karma. You need to guard the law of karma, and then Master Domdamba told him why I have to guard. Because then Master Adisha say, unless or until you achieve the direct wisdom of emptiness, you have to guard the law of karma. That's why we say, that's why in Buddha's, Buddha Sutra, Buddha say, that means those who totally under the love, those who is totally under the control of love, the compassion towards the entire limitless sentient being, even those bodhisattvas, through the force of the karma, through the power of the karma, they can even take rebirth in the lower land. So that is what it means, really who dedicate the entire life serving for all the sentient being. That means the power of the karma has more upper hand than many of the spiritual qualities. Therefore, the law of karma, understanding the law of karma becomes very crucial. If we were to gain some spiritual insight, if we were to gain some spiritual experience, both in Hinayana, in Mahayana, and in Vajrayana, without guarding the law of karma, there's no way that one can cultivate spiritual attainments, spiritual experience, deeper spiritual experience. Right. So guarding the law of karma really becomes something very crucial. That's something really important. Then, so this is, I now discuss about the 4 factors. Now, what are the, what are the 4, now what, the negative karma of stealing, what are the 4 factors that we may, receive, as a result of engaging in the, the act of stealing. The first one is ripening karma. The first is ripening karma. That means one is born in either in the hell, or in the hungry ghost, or in the animal. Because not only the human being, even if you look into the animal kingdom. Now, for example, sometimes we see the pet animals like cat, the dogs. Some animals have the good owner. Good owner, the owner, they feed the pet animal a very good food. Now, whereas some dogs and cats, they struggled on the street, finding food here and there. What karma? The karma is, now that dog with a good owner, they must have, practiced some form of giving. But then, because they don't observe the morality, the ethics, So they're born as an animal like dog and cat, and then but they practice giving, so they're able to get even the good food, good shelter. Whereas some dog, they ended up, finding the food here in the in the garbage, So they not only they observe they observe the ethics, morality, but also they don't practice the giving. So even within the animal kingdom, these such things happen. Now even in the human this also happens, right? So the experience, the happening result is that we will born into the lower realm, and then the habitual result is that because of the engage in the act of the stealing, now really this kind of habituate pattern carries on life after lifetime, and then we have sometimes there's a tendency to steal, right? And then the experiential result. Now I will talk about the experiential result. Yeah, this is experiential result. Now, as a result of act of engaging in the act of the stealing, what are the experiential results? Now, the experiential result is one may take birth as a poverty. One struggle, obtaining the resources. Right. Now, one really struggle for the poverty. Now, relating to this, now I want to expand in the understanding. What are the main causes for attracting the wealth? What are the main causes? What are the main, the causes, karmic action for gathering resources? So this is, really important to understand. Right. Now here, now the stealing is one of the act of stealing is one of the main causes for creating obstacle for getting resources. Now here we have to understand. Now, if the act of the stealing is really the main obstacle, now what are the factors? What are the karmic factors which help us accumulate, which help us gather and acquire the resources quickly and in an effective way? Again, we need to have should have good understanding. Refraining from the refraining, avoiding the act of stealing. Avoiding the act of stealing is one of the factors for creating the resources. And then there is another karmic action, which is about the act of giving, the act of giving, right? So in this, refraining from the stealing and giving the resources towards others, to the others, there's a little different. When you refrain from the act of stealing, actually what it does is we are creating the karmic condition, we are creating the karmic action which helps to remove the obstacle for gathering the resources. when we actually give the resources, it helps to we create the karmic action which helps to gather all the favorable conditions to receive and gather the resources. On the one hand, it overcome the obstacles. Other is it create the favorable conditions to get the resources. Right. So there's a really major kind of differences. Relating to this, I will talk a little bit about this. This is Buddha statue. This is Buddha statue. Right. Now, first we need to understand on this, now, for example, if we develop the faith, for example, now into this statue, right? Any statue. How does the karma work in receiving the blessing? How does the karma work in receiving the blessing from the images, the statues? How does the karma work to receive the to receive the positive energy from this vase? I will explain. Now, this I'm just right now giving the example, right, for the better understanding of you, right, so that you can better understand. Now, this statue is empty before, Now, before empty, now we put, some mantra rolls, we put very holy objects inside. We put the holy objects inside. When we put the mantra rolls, holy objects, all, and then with this done, again, this is not easy, when we put all these things, somebody very qualified, somebody must have undertaken a retreat on the any, highest yoga tantra deity retreat. And then, yeah, a lot of things are involved, visualization, of course. Now, after we put all these things, right, now, before we put, and then we bless the object, all the mantra rolls, all the, holy objects which should go inside, we bless. So then in each of the holy object, we, the wisdom beings are dissolved. Right. Now, then we put everything inside. Once we put everything inside, then we again, do another, consecration. We, do another consecration, or we do another blessing. That blessing is now we visualize entering the wisdom beings inside the statue, this statue, any statue, right? Now this becomes, now the wisdom beings enter into the statue. Now that brings highly blessed object. Now the statue really become the highly blessed. Now with this highly blessed object, if we do pray to this, holy object, how do we get the blessing? We need to understand this. Right. Now again, here the karma is involved. The law of karma is involved. Now, if you in your mind, in your mind stream, if you have some degree, if you have certain degree of the seed and karmic imprint to receive the blessing, First, you should, if something is there, should be there. When you develop the devotion, when you develop the faith, now this faith, you develop the faith, right? This faith act as a cooperative condition to activate your seed, to activate your, the seed of receiving the blessing from the images. Now, with this activation, now from the depth of your heart, from with the purity of your heart, you develop the good faith, the devotion, and then with this faith help to activate your karma, the seed of positive karma, to receive the blessing. Now, with this, then you receive the blessing. When you receive the blessing, then what happened? When you receive the blessing, you receive the blessing of the body, speech, and mind of this teacher. With this, when you receive the blessing of the body, speech, and mind, your mind is, first, many of the negativities are purified. And then your body, for example, you enjoy the good health, you have the good body, you begin to really enjoy the good health. You have less sickness. And then when you receive the blessing of the speech, your speech has more power. You receive the blessing to use all the pleasant words to bring other people under your of course, to bring other people positively, bring other people under your control. It your dharma teaching or your pleasant words has power to make other people listen to you, right? And then you receive the blessing of the mind. Your mind, you cultivate the wisdom to see the reality, with the wisdom to see the solution, right solution to the problem, any given problem. And then beside that, there are limitless number of benefits. So this is how it works. Okay. Now second one is this. I think you already know this. Huh? This is popular, right? This is popular, the popular object, that is sometimes called as wealth base. Now, right now, again, how does this wealth base act as a, how does this also involved in gaining or acquiring the resources, right? So it is very important to understand, so that then, again, now here, this vase has some energy inside, the energy of visualization, the energy of the substances inside, the energy of the mantra. So 3 different energies are concealed inside. This vase, again, this vase is a cooperating factor. This vase is cooperating factor. Now, now here, now, say, I get this, vase, and then I put, this in my altar, in my house. But then some may, some may wonder, I bought this, waited for 2 years. I cannot guarantee you the well coming. How come I waited for many years? Still no progress. Right? We definitely think like this. As I said, this is the cooperating condition. Cooperative condition. Now we keep this in our house. Now here again, the law of karma. The law of karma is involved into this. The law of karma. The law of I believe the believing that believing and practically give other, receive. That is the fundamentally the law of karma. Right. Otherwise, without any giving, without any giving, and then sometimes, if we, don't give anything, and then we not only give, we also don't refrain from stealing. If we don't refrain from stealing, and not only that we do not refrain from stealing, but also we don't give other, and then you give. That is not realistic. That is not practical. How can we expect it? I mean, to make the things really workable, really practical, realistic, we need to do the things in a realistic way. Right. So therefore, definitely it has the power. There's no question. But we need to activate this energy, positive energy. How are we going to activate this positive energy? How are we going to activate this positive energy? To activate this positive energy. Now, again, as I said, here, we need to, at least, we should have some karma. We should have some karma of, receiving the resources. There should be some karma. There should be the karma because, in many past life, who knows? In many past life, we practice giving. And it leaves the positive imprint here. But that positive imprint has not meet with any condition. So therefore, we need to activate this, the positive karma. How are we going to activate positive karma? The activation of this positive karma, again, has to do with, one is this one. Another one is, you pray to Zambala. Not only Zambala, that I wish that I get resources. With these resources, I'm going to benefit others. That motivation, this kind of motivation is necessary. Not only for myself, my primary purpose of, doing all these things, buying these things and all these things, is to benefit other, to serve other. With this motivation, how far we get the, how soon we get the resources depends on your motivation also. The power of the motivation, the vastness of the motivation. If your power of the motivation, the vastness of the motivation is really, high, it is more quicker to fulfill acquiring the resources. within the short period of time. So with this, motivation, when this kind of motivation arise, when we develop some motivation, this motivation helps to activate your positive karma, the karma of acquiring wealth. And then when the karma is activated, this vase has the power to gather the resources. So your karma and this, the energy, this vase, which has the energy to attract the resources, all combined together, and you are going to acquire the wealth. So this is how it works. Not just to put in the house and expecting to, this is not the way. So therefore, now not only this, right? Not only this, there are few ways, for gaining resources. Now, for example, we visualize, sometimes we visualize Shakyamuni Buddha. We visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front, and then he holds the bowl, bowl on hand, and then in the bowl there's the nectar, yellow nectar coming. Yellow nectar continue to flow outside. This is again one powerful method to attract the resources. Again, it has to do with the law of karma. Again, it has to do with the law of karma, the act of giving, the act of refraining from stealing, the act of giving away. These two. Because once all the obstacles for gathering the resources is there, and all the favorable conditions to attract the wealth is there, nobody can stop you from getting rich. No one. But sometimes we miss, one way or another way we miss. So therefore, we don't get wealth as expected. Then when all the causes and conditions is there, when there is no obstacles, when all the causes and conditions right there, no force can stop. That is the nature of the law of karma. Right. And also there's another kind of beautiful practice, like, as I said, I already, discussed with you. If you, really, resources, for example, if you really want to, improve the health, your health is not good. You really want to improve the condition of your health. Again, now if you want to improve the health, what we have to do, of course, we are taking medication. Taking medication is the cooperative condition. It is the cooperative condition. Whether you are taking the Western medicine or whether you are taking the Ayurvedic medicine, it doesn't matter. But these are cooperative conditions. The main condition is here. There is karma inside, the seed of the karma. So the seed of the karma, when activate, the medication works beautifully. The medication has the power. It has the power. And then at the same time, you have the positive karma to get recovered swiftly, smoothly. So with this, then, we visualize, right? We visualize all this, the white light coming from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It comes down to you, it purifies all the sickness, the negativities, and many things. This kind of visualization, does it work? It works. The problem that it does not work is if you don't do, it does not work. If he does not believe in this, then how it works? It does work. It works because this powerful visualization is again the cooperating factor, and your karma in your mind is the main factor. Your karma in your mind is the main factor, and all the the visualizations are the powerful factor. And not only the visualization, but because of the power of tremendous power of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We say the qualities of the Buddha is beyond imagination. The qualities of the Dharma is beyond imagination. The qualities of the Sangha is beyond imagination. With these three beyond imagination, by venerating them, your result is unimaginable. So this is what is stated. So therefore, also due to the unimaginable, the power of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and also because of the power of your visualization, with these, serve as really the powerful condition, powerful cooperative factor to activate your seat, to activate your seat, to activate your seat to get recovered from the illness. So in this way, the medication is perfectly working well for you. If you have no karma to get recovery, the medication, of course, does not work. Many of the things, we say, sometimes we believe, oh, this is luck, or like this, like that. Many of the things, actually, in reality, is corporate conditions. The main source of the main source, it's like what we call as the main source is here, karma, the positive karma and the negative karma is within one's mind stream, right? So this is, and then we have another visualization like this, like we have another, for example, like attracting the wealth, for purifying your, purifying your sickness, to recover from the sickness, to recover from the ill luck, unluck, ill health, to recover from all this, to pacify all these things. And we also have, other activities like to increase the merit, your luck, your success, your resources, your vitality. Right? So there's, for example, like we call fire puja. There are 4 kinds of fire puja. In pacifying fire puja, when we do, then all these are, many of the, unfortunate things, unluck things are pacified. When you do the increasing fire puja, it helps to increase, your merit, vitality, resources, good health. But again, how it works within the framework of the law of causality, law of karma. How it works within the law of karma. Again, we fundamentally believe in the law of karma. Right? And then with this, again, we should refrain from the act of stealing. Don't misunderstand. Don't get misunderstood. I'm not saying don't misunderstand, right? Sometimes when I'm talking about the the act of the second non-virtuous, yeah, I have to say this. Because you all the people you come here are really good people. I'm not even expecting all these things. But then because I have to tell, right? So refraining from the law of karma, and then engage in the practice of giving. With these two, then you do the fire puja, increasing fire puja, and then and then your karma, your positive karma to getting acquiring resources is activated. Activated. When it is activated, then there are different ways of gathering the wealth. Sometimes sometimes you apply for new job, you get good paying job. Sometimes people they play the lottery, and then who knows the one hit the jackpot. Because when the karma is there, we cannot say, oh, this does not, you need to have, a very, very, you need to have a very, I mean, you need to be very lucky. No, no, no. This is from the law of karma perspective, not that way. The only thing is, if you have pretty good, law, the practice of giving, you know, so then, with this kind of powerful visualization, the powerful practice, like the in the fire puja, increasing fire puja, then your the seed of getting resources, acquiring resources is activated. When activated, nobody can stop you from becoming rich. Nobody can stop you from getting plenty of resources, abundance of resources. So this is how the law of karma works in this acquiring wealth. So with this, yeah, we need to have really the overall understanding. Then we really know how to do in a right way. Right. What's the time? Oh, sorry. Now I'm supposed to I'm supposed to. There are few means to. There are few ways to which makes few karmic actions which leads to poverty, and few karmic actions which leads to the abundant resources, enjoying the abundant resources. Now, okay, now then, yeah, it looks like we reach 8:30. So I will talk a little bit. The main and not only this, rejoicing when other people giving the trying to do the charitable work, we rejoice from the depth of our heart rather than saying, oh, so many things. We really from the depth of your heart, we rejoice. We don't have to, in this case, when we talk about rejoicing, we don't actually, we are not doing anything. We just rejoice other people's good work. This also is one of the main factor for that we create a positive karma to getting resources in the future, right? And then talking about talking about good qualities of making talking about the good qualities of refraining from the stealing, and also talking about the good qualities of the practice of giving. These are also the karmic actions which make us acquire more and abundance of wealth. If you have any question, yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to accept one or two questions.
When
Yeah.
people are really interesting in the fire puja, so they ask you to give them some instructions on how to conduct fire puja at home. Can we do that now?
Mm, uh, yeah, usually, fire puja. Mm, usually, when we talk about the fire puja, for example, usually, I talk about the different the fire pujas. The fire pujas. There are four different kind of fire pujas. The fire pujas of specifying activity, subjugation or controlling, and then wrathful. There are four different kinds of fire puja. And in order to undertake this fire, in order to do either of these fire puja, of course, one need to have undertaken one need to have undertaken the retreat, retreat for the highest yoga tantra, any of the highest yoga tantra deity, right? And in order to have undertaken the highest yoga tantra deity, one need to have received the empowerment of the highest yoga tantra deity. Then you are first first we receive the highest yoga tantra empowerment, and then you do the retreat, or maybe for some they do for depending on the how many mantras one need to collect, maybe some 1 month or some 2 months, some deity takes 3 months. After that retreat is done, that is called, we call serviceable retreat, serviceable retreat or commitment retreat. Once this commitment retreat for 1 month, 2 month, or whatever 3 months is done, then you need to do the fire puja. That is again called serviceable fire puja or commitment fire puja. When the serviceable fire puja or commitment fire puja is done, then you are authorized to whatever tantric activities you can do. Otherwise, without doing all these things, if we do the many tantric activities like fire puja, so this is not good, right? Like this. And then however, however, you can still do the for example, like there is some practice, small, if you can also do the fire puja according to the action tantra. I think many of you received the action tantra, say action tantra empowerment, right? Many of the deities belong to the action tantra, and you also have done the retreat, for maybe 1 month, whatever. And then after that, then you can do the fire puja according to the this according to the which deity you do, and then you do the fire puja. For example, if you do the uh, tara, there's a tara fire puja, konam fire puja, Amitabha fire puja, like this, or Wisdom Buddha Manjushri, you can do the Manjushri. Right. Having said that, but of course, if you have sometimes problem, yeah, sometimes things are for individuals. Some individuals, things are not going well. The business is not going well. So many obstacle here and there. In this case, although you can, you may not able to do, but you can request, the qualified, to do it for you. This also, yeah, all possible. It's also possible, yeah. But once you undertake the high Yogananda empowerment retreat, and then if you can do the fire puja, increasing all these things. But of course, the fire puja, one need to do all these things. The fire pujas, one need the some of the things needed. There are also some materials, ingredients to put into the fire. This also needed. So I'm not sure.
Thank you, Ben, for your useful information. And just allow me to clarify a little bit. So, although we don't have the right conditions right now to implement on the higher tantric fire puja, but actually, what we can do in our side is that we can practice the on the deity that we already have received initiation, right? And the practice book, it it also can be considered a mini puja. Yeah, which we can do every day, right? Then,
Mm.
and it helps also, right? Um, right? Is that right, Ben?
Uh, can you repeat that again?
Um, so the practice book
Yeah.
for the action deity action tanja deity that we already
Mm.
received, it also can be considered a mini puja, right?
Yeah,
Which we can do every day, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
yeah,
and yeah.
yeah. This you can do, but there's also for example, like for example, that many of you the person can do. For example, there's one called Vajrataka Fire Puja, right? Vajrataka Fire Puja. Yeah, this also one can do. But this will come later. Right now, we have other many things to do. For example, like yeah, Hasutra mantra and Vajrasattva and so many things to do. Right now, I don't, yeah, go into detail about these things. Yeah.
So then one more questions.
Yeah.
Previously you talk about many action, negative karmic actions that leads to poverty, and many of which maybe we because of our ignorance, we don't aware that we commit very negative actions like using the apps without license or with the permissions from the for the from the old author or something like that. That's very small actions, which can lead to a very heavy result in the future. It's not pacific pacified. But then one question arise is that because our ignorance and because sometimes we don't aware of the our actions. How can we confess and purify all these karmic action if we don't remember them?
I see. Yeah, this is yeah. When we even so if for example, if you go through the 35 confession test, right? So in the 35 confession test, it says all the negativities that I have accumulated in this life, and all the many negativities that I may have accumulated over beginning's lifetime. We do not. It's not necessary to remember each and everything. Each and everything. Just all the negativities that I may have accumulated over beginningless lifetime. So this, yeah, we need to keep in, yeah, keep in our mind. Then all the negativities, it is not necessary to necessary to uh, remember and count each of the negative karma. No way, right? For example, when we meditate, right? When we meditate, all the all the all the impermanent things are empty, right? All the all the things are empty of you know e- all the things are empty of inherent existence. When we meditate, like, right, when we meditate, we are not trying to we are not trying to remember each and everything, each and everything, try to, oh, these are impermanent, oh, this is impermanent, that is impermanent. We are not trying to do everything which is conditioned by causes and conditions, which is in the nature of momentarily changing, is impermanent. This we are trying to meditate, right? So similarly, when we try to purify, we are not trying to remember each and every details of negative karma that we have created. Of course we cannot do, right? We cannot remember the past life. Then there's no way to recall the negativities that we may have accumulated, right? But generally, all the negativities that I have may have accumulated like this. from the body, speech, and mind, all the negativities that I've accumulated over beginner's lifetime, right? And then those negativities in this very lifetime, those negativities that I could remember, also, yeah, those that we can do, right? But over the beginner's lifetime, the negativities we can't remember. So just visualize that all these things that I may have accumulated, yeah. So in the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you made this confess. We made the confession, the negativities of this life and all the negativities of that we have accumulated over beginner's lifetime.
Yeah, thank you, Van.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, that's it then. Yeah, we do the dedication prayer. Oh, Yavadi, you do the Namasan to Union, do what Yamaneva, Tayasala, Gavasho, Chanjo, and Jordan Boji. Mahibana Yuji, Yavanya, Baya, Kone Honda, Pevasho, Yanda Tower, Rinpoche, Magipana Yuji. Yavanya, Mamabaya, Kone Honda, Pevasho, Jambe Boy, Chetarkin, Bada, Kundo Sampo, Taya Teshide. 대사근게 제소 달로지 개와데다 탐제라도 대순시에 개와 탐제 뭐 하나 초등학 번에 다기 기회 서와 되기가 상보주주라도 뭐와르기 메제베 대신 제레세 팀에 gembe 원보 잠베야 간제 개회도 연성과 반도 상타베 샤블라소와 Okay, thank you everyone for joining the class.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Cảm ơn ban
Thank
tổ
you,
chức,
Van.
con cảm ơn ban tổ chức ạ. Cảm ơn thầy ạ.
Yeah, xin cảm ơn mọi người đã vào nghe Pháp ngày hôm nay ạ. Hẹn gặp lại tuần tới.
Yeah.